Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Dr. V. We're happy you joined us again. I am flying solo once again this time, so I thought what I would do is make a quick oatmeal breakfast bar. I'm wearing this lei for about 2 seconds longer because my girlfriend Jane has retired, so they put this on me when I went to the party and I forgot to take it off and then realized halfway home that it was on, and so happy retirement to Jane. Okay, that's enough of that. Get that out of there. That's for you. Okay, so today we're going to make an oatmeal breakfast bar, and this is chock full of really healthy things. So a lot of people are always asking me, what can I eat for breakfast? And as you may know, the standard American diet breakfast is really all of it's bad. Pancakes are literally cakes, and eggs can be good, but then usually what we eat with them, we'll eat lots of fried potatoes or toast. So there are healthier options for breakfast, and especially if you're in a hurry, this is a really good bar to make at the beginning of the week, and then you have it the whole week. So this recipe comes from my student Michelle, who was here on a previous episode with me, and I believe her chef that did her nutrition up at NAU either found this recipe or made it, so it's not mine, but that's the credit. And I may or may not do it exactly the way they do it, but it's not very difficult. All you have to do is put the ingredients together and bake it. So I've proportioned everything out. You can see that we have a good amount of fruit here. We've got banana, blueberry, and dates, and these are going to provide the sugar or the sweetness to this bar. So there's no sugar or no added anything extra in the bar. That's just the sweetness of the fruit, which makes it very nice. Other than that, it is packed with healthy options. Oh, there's some raisins here too that also add to the sweetness. You can also add some cacao nibs, which are cacao is a superfood. I don't have those here, but you could do chocolate chips or add anything else to your liking. We do have some sunflower seeds and walnuts. These are really good protein. So walnuts are a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, and they are one of the best nuts. Almonds are the other ones, but one of the best nuts to get your omega-3. But this is a really nice option for protein for the morning. And then finally, we have these special little things here. So I was first introduced to the goji berry probably about 20 years ago. My brother was living in New York City and brought me some chocolate that had goji berries in it. And it was almost like the chocolate was made of gold. It was so expensive. So I didn't eat it for a year because I was worried that I was going to waste it. But they're not that expensive. I found these at Sprouts, and these are the organic goji berries. Goji berries are superfoods. They're full of antioxidants, and the anthocyanin, which is that red color that we talk about a lot. They're full of vitamin C, so they're good for immune system, and also good for your eyes, full of zeaxanthin. So these are definitely superfoods here. And then last but not least, I have some flaxseed, and this is ground flaxseed, also a great option for your fiber and omega-3. So the omega-3 in flaxseed, in order for you to get the benefit, there are some companies that process omega-3 or process flaxseed so that the omega-3 stays there. But for the most part, if you're getting whole flaxseed, and then you can do that at Sprouts in the bulk section, and then grind it. It'll stay good if you put it in the refrigerator for a few days, and you'll still get the omega-3 benefit. If you buy ground flaxseed in the jar, then you're getting the fiber benefit, but you won't get the omega-3. So this is a plant-based omega-3. And that's what we've got. Now we've got some oats. All right, oats. So my patients are always asking me, what should I eat, right? What's the best diet? And you'll see all over the internet, right? Oats are your best friend, or oats are terrible. And how do I know if oats are good or oats are bad? Shakespeare said, there is nothing good or bad. Thinking makes it so. But the truth is that this is a nice option for a gluten-free meal. Now, some oats have gluten in them because they are processed in a factory that works with gluten. So you do have to be careful. But oats, if they are just rolled oats, they are gluten-free. They are high in carbohydrate. So it just depends. If you were going to have oats, then you probably want to mix them with a healthy fat, which we have here in our flax and our nuts, or protein, and that will decrease the glycemic index. So meaning how fast this food is absorbed, or the glycemic load, how fast the food is absorbed into the bloodstream. So for a lot of people, they'll say oats make my blood sugar go very high. Others say it doesn't bother me much. It definitely depends on what else you're eating with them. And I just say, wear a CGM monitor and see where you are. Try to eat oats with, just plain, and then eat some oats with some nuts or flax on them, and see if that changes the absorption of the sugar, and how fast your blood glucose goes up and comes down. So to start, we're going to use a pretty ripe banana. Now I break bananas kind of in the middle like that. I guess I got used to that because I have 2 kids, so we used to use half bananas. We're just going to dump that in there. And then we're going to mash that up. So you want one that's probably a little more ripe than this is today. I just went shopping today and asked them for a banana that was more ripe, but apparently they didn't have any in the back. So she did tell me, I haven't tried it, but she did tell me that if you have a banana, one of the girls at Sprouts, so that's the disclaimer there. She said if you have a banana and you're trying to ripen it a little bit more quickly, same day, she said you can put it in, mash it up and put it in brown sugar. So I don't know, but we didn't want to use sugar in this recipe because, again, we are all about whole foods here, whole healthy foods that don't have a lot of added sugar, and something that you can eat and be healthy with. Okay, so we're mashing up the banana, and then now the dates are going to be a little bit more difficult, but I did want to show you, we do have some dates that are open here. These are medjool dates. These are very good snacks, but also very high in carbohydrate, very high in sugar, and you do not want to forget to take the pit out. So we need about 2 tablespoons of these. So roughly, I'm going to say that is about 4 dates there. And we're going to chop those up. And you can put all of this in the blender if you like. It does tend to get a bit sticky if you do that. But I have done these in the blender before, or at least a version of them. But I find that when I'm doing it in the blender, the dates, if you're not having a lot of other things in there, the dates can really get stuck in the blades, and it's rather annoying. So in this case, we're just going to cut them up, and you can kind of tell they get smushy. But dates are frequently used in a lot of desserts when there is no sugar. And you can see that this is going to be what's going to help us, what's going to help them stick together. All right. So about 2 tablespoons of dates there. And then you pretty much just dump everything else in. So we have 1 cup of blueberries, and these are frozen that are organic and thawed. Blueberries, you definitely want to take organic because they are on the Dirty Dozen list, which is they have high amounts of pesticides when they're not organic. And these are also superfoods, so very high in antioxidants. And this is probably the fruit that is the lowest glycemic index, berries. Berries are very good for if you don't want to have a lot of sugary fruits but yet you want something that's sweeter tasting, or if you have a craving after dinner or while you're watching TV or something and you really want ice cream or something that's going to be bad for you, then frozen blueberries are really a great option. I also have frozen cherries, and I do frozen peas as well, and I find that kind of helps my cravings for sweets because I'm a big sweet tooth. All right, so we're dumping everything else in so that I can go in order. Here's 2 tablespoons of flax, and we already talked about how we ground it. And then 1/4 cup of raisins. I like the golden raisins. You can choose the Thompson seedless raisins if you like those. And then we have 1 tablespoon of the walnuts, 1 tablespoon of raw sunflower seeds. If you like, you can do the salted ones. Just depends on what kind of salt tooth you are. If you like salty, is that a thing, salt tooth? I think sweet tooth and salt something. Salt, savory. Thank you. It's like there's a word there that I'm missing. It's Friday. Okay. I used all my big words. All right, here's some goji berries. There's 1 tablespoon of goji berries in there, and those are going to be fun at parties. And then we have our 1 cup of gluten-free oats. These are rolled oats that we talked about. You can do a lot with oats as long as you mix them with some protein and fat. Then, And when I make granola, I use a more keto-based granola, meaning a lot of ground nut, but I will use a little bit of oat just for flavor. And then we have another antioxidant here. This is pomegranate juice. So this is 1/8 of a cup of pomegranate juice. So that's just going to get poured in there. Very high in antioxidants. And then you're mixing it all together. So it's a nice looking berry bar. And then you're supposed to put this in an 8x8 pan, which I don't have here. So what we're going to do is put it in some muffin cups. And I've got some parchment paper that is curling up over here, but obviously if you're using muffin cups, then you can get the little paper lined things. And what we're going to do is just after it's pretty well mixed, we're going to put them all just in there like that. See, it's pretty easy. And you're going to bake these for about normally if it's the 8x8 pan, it's about 350 degrees it's 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. These will take less time because they are smaller and in muffins. So I would probably check these after about 12 minutes and see where you are there. But I'm just going to continue to fill those cups, and then I'm going to put these in the oven at 350 degrees. Check them after about 10 minutes. And you want them, they may be slightly brown just after they come out, but most of the time they're just going to come out just going to stay a very purpley color. So just so it's cooked through, and then you can save these for the week and you've got some healthy breakfast items.